Well, as you know, we have the Walt Disney Took a Dump special here. And with the infamous sparkle that you all wanted to see. And let me show you a little something here real quick. I'm going to show you that horrific sparkle. And there's a reason I'm not showing you a part of this guitar. It's horrendous, right? So, I was told that on a good lacquer, which obviously this is not, to get it to it with some heat, and you could lift an edge and maybe peel it off if you let it sit for a couple days and then try to take it off. And I just attempted that, and I figured I'd catch a video and show you guys, but it didn't work. So I proceeded to step two. Now, step two, however, look at the bottom of the guitar, guys, is working. 100% acetone on a rag, and this is some thick lacquer on here. And it's working. So this isn't going to be as much work as I thought, although it still is a pain. And I did not want to scrap this guitar, and I did not want to relic it. I say I don't want to relic it. I don't want it to look that old. I do want a kind of a 70s feel to it. But I don't want it to look what most people would consider relic and beat up. So that was good news when this started happening, although there will be some nice little sparkle inside the pickup area where it's routed out for the pickups when we are done, because I'm not getting in there to get that out. But honestly, it's going to have some shielding paint in there anyhow, so hopefully that gets covered up. However, this is coming off, and it's coming off rather well. And it seems fitting that I stole the wife's, I was clogging up this rag a little bit now, that I stole the wife's acetone. Unfortunately, there's not a lot left in here. However, I did steal it, and I am using it. So, honey, if you're watching, sorry, not sorry. Because, well, you suggested that I glitter bomb the Les Paul. So, I'm just going to go ahead and just keep on rubbing this, guys. And I thought you guys would want an update on where this is going. Why am I just not starting over and doing a different build kit? Well, honestly, I thought about it, but after I set this guitar up and used it, checked it all out, checked the action, it plays so good, I can't just start over. And it really was a beautiful finish underneath. So that's what we're going to roll with. Now, I have a feeling doing this, when I'm done, may require some light sanding afterwards anyhow, because I have a feeling this is melting. It doesn't look bad doing this. I have a feeling this acetone is melting into the wood grain, if that makes any sense. But at the same time, man, it does look good. I mean, I don't know if you can tell. Look at this finish, this burst that's coming out. That's the way it should be. So we're going to stick with a burst and that tobacco, and no special funky Disney puke. When you wish upon a star. Yeah, so we're getting there. A lot there, but in this little time, I probably got about 5 minutes into this, really, maybe a little more, but into this spot. So I should have this done within an hour and stripped. But I will have to run to the store and grab some more acetone, 100%. And we'll see how it turns out. So I went to the store and I had to pick up I picked up a couple things of nail polish remover, make sure it's 100% if you guys run into this issue. I've been at this, and Well, since I showed you the last video, which I just started, and I come back and I've literally been at this for maybe about another 5 minutes, maybe 10. And you can see we got almost the whole front stripped, which is really good. And the finish underneath is left pretty much untouched. So that is fantastic. So for what reason or another, it is stripping the lacquer off, but it's not taking off the color underneath, which is fantastic, because that means that this is salvageable and savable, and we won't be able to tell the difference when I'm done. I will tell you guys, if you're using, okay, so this is sit for what, 2-3 days now? So I'm going back after 2-3 days, and yes, this hasn't fully cured. So if you make a mistake, I suggest that you wait that 2 days at least before you do this, so you have a surface that will come up easy and not give you too, because this isn't giving me a sticky problem, and this surface is beautiful now underneath. So we got this little horn to do. I got to get on the sides of the guitar. I'll touch up the top of the headstock, take that off. But I want to show you guys that this is why I experiment with things. And it's a good thing that I'm stubborn and don't take no for an answer. A lot of people I've heard will just throw this, start over, throw it in the garbage, or relic it or whatever. Nope, not going to relic it, not going to. And, you know, why relicking it is a cool idea, and I am going to build a relic shortly. I'm actually looking at a few different guitar kits. This was a really low price kit, and I'm happy with the quality of this kit for sure. Took the stain nice. I'm sure the higher priced kits probably have a lot less sanding required, is what I'm going to guess. But it looks like, as far as humbuckers and the switches and knobs that they use, it's all the same is what I'm seeing when I'm looking at the kits. There is a few companies out there, and like they are eluding me off the top of my head what the names of them are, that offer kits, and they're just downright expensive, and nothing's pre-wired, nothing. So you're still doing all that stuff. The difference with this one is I had to drill out for my bridge and my tailpiece, which I don't find to be a problem. Yeah, it would have been nice to have all drilled out, but it gives you a little bit of satisfaction drilling it out. And when you make mistakes like I made finishing this, and I was worried it was going to be a huge mistake. It's not a huge mistake. Very easily, as I'm finding out, fixable. However, nonetheless, I did make it, and now I have to learn from that mistake, and I want to pass that on to you guys. So I hope nobody else makes the mistake that I just did. Don't use a rustoleum lacquer. That's the moral of this story. And now that I've did a little bit more research into the rustoleum lacquers, I am hearing a lot of people say that it's not actually a lacquer. It doesn't have lacquer properties. So I think that it's kind of wrong. I mean, I could call Rustoleum and say, hey, you effed up my guitar with what you're calling a lacquer, but we're not going to do that because I don't know. And honestly, it helped me learn. Sometimes we learn from our mistakes, and that's what I've done. Now, watch this, guys. Pour a little bit on here and give this a final. Watch this. And this is downright almost better than I remember when I started lacquering it. You ready? Look at this. I mean, we still got some glitter in there in the pickup holes, but that's going to get some that's going to get coated in there anyhow. Some shielding paint, so not a big deal. And there's the headstock. Look at that head. Isn't that gross? You guys want to see me do that headstock? Hopefully that headstock comes off nice and easy, like the front of this did. There you go. If you see a few specks on there, they're just resting there. Looks great. Still got to get the edges too. So, and of course the lacquer is ran down now that I've done this, and it's made quite the mess. But I will do this headstock, and we'll start that right now, so we can see. What I do is I take a rag and I soften it, and I just sit it there first on top and kind of soften that. So what I did after I got off with you guys is, and work at small circles, by the way. Small circles. You do a big area, you make a mess, small circle at a time, and basically I'm using the same rag. I actually have another rag that's cleaner over here to finish up with, but using the same rag, small circles as you go. Got maybe 15 minutes that took me to take that all of that lacquer off the top, and man, it was thick. Very thick. So, and I'm left with my beautiful finish still underneath. So, okay. I'm let that sit for a second. That should be sticky. Yes, it's sticky now. You'll pull off. It's actually yellow when you start softening it. It turns yellow. So, let's see if I can work some of this off here. Oh yeah. Yep. There we are. Hold on, guys. Let me show you here. Small circles again. I'll show you here. See the center? See it coming off? Very cool. Nothing to it. And this particular kit, I don't know if you guys noticed, but this appears to be a one-piece neck. I don't see a scarf joint in there. I could be wrong, but it's nothing that's visible to me, or at least that I even remember seeing. So, and I take the old acetone right to it. I am not afraid. Now, I'm going to logo this guitar when it's done. FSB, Fulton Street Beats. And because, well, it's the first one that I've built. And I'm probably going to, it's kind of zen. Probably going to build a lot more of them, to tell you the truth, because it's so cool. Setting them up's the easy part. Setting up, to me, setting them up, the action, doing the fret work, things like that, making sure it plays good. That's the easy part. I don't mind doing that stuff. That's just not a big deal to me. Some people that's a big deal to, but not me. That's pretty easy, I believe. And of course, some people like a high action, some people like a low action. I actually like a low action, and I like a fast neck. And that's why I didn't lacquer the neck, thank God. Okay, and I believe we almost got it all. There might be a couple little spots there, but headstock, lacquer, 100% gone, back to a nice headstocking. These holes came pre-drilled, and they were drilled correctly, by the way. So now, now that that's done, we got to get on the sides and get this stuff off the binding and what have you. So this, I'm guessing, is going to take a little bit more time. But however, we'll see. It might not be as thick on the sides as it was on top. Hopefully it doesn't stain the binding or yellow the binding. Nope, coming right off the binding. Very nicely, actually. And coming off the side, at least in this spot, that I'm doing very easily. Figure I'm one of those guys that works the hard spots first and then goes to the easy stuff so I don't get discouraged. Wow, just amazes me. I didn't expect it to come off this easy. I really didn't. I really, really didn't. And this might be softened too on the sides from where it ran over the edge when I was, the acetone was running over the edge. Yeah, it looks like the binding is going to stay white too. Although I'm going to have to go down with a clean rag when I'm done, I'm sure. But yeah, for the most part, binding is looking probably better than I started out after I hit it with this stuff here. I'll show you here in a second. I'm probably going to switch rags in a minute. That little section that I did in the center there, you see that's all gone. But I got to be careful because I got some that ran down to the bottom. Now this stuff should come off really easy. And it is. Very cool. Very, very cool. I'm impressed. And as you can see, I'm not really freaking out. I'm at my my broadcast surface doing this. And that's not glass. This is a natural wood here. So I'm not really worried about that. It's working out nicely. I'm going to get this high spot right here. And then I'll cut and we'll come back. And I'll tell you how long it took me to do it. Gone. That fast up there. Gone. Yeah. I'm kind of, believe it or not, I'm kind of glad I made the mistake. Because I've learned something. And now I get to go back through and make it beautiful once again. Okay, stay right there and I'll be back with the unfinished product. So what I have found is that for whatever reason, a quality microfiber does not clog. So I'm not sure what the deal is there. It's really weird. I literally, until this second, been using the same rag. So, but we got it off the headstock. We got it off the back. Oh, time, by the way, 20 minutes, half an hour tops. And I decided to take a walk today and walk to get some acetone. So that took me another 20 minutes. So I got about 40 minutes into this so far. Pretty crazy. And I'm just doing this recording in the meantime. I'm going to put on some more on. This is another rag. So, and this is just one I'm going to use to finish up and make sure that binding's good and clean. And it is, and I apologize if my phone is going off because I did not set it to do not disturb, and it happens every time. And I can almost guarantee I know who it is. And clean up these edges. I want that binding to stay nice. And I'll do a little more cleaning on this because this is obviously going to get done with, cleared with something else. Probably an automotive finish. That's the best bet, I'm thinking. Some of this lacquer was on so thick. But this acetone makes short notice of it. And you can see there's a little brown right there. And I actually think that brown is from my stain and not the lacquer. So let's see. Yes, took it right off. All the sparkle is gone. All the glitters is gold. Is gone. That holographic, holy shit, sparkle. Whoa, that was terrible. So terrible. I'm glad I'm doing this with a clean rag because I see some spots that I missed. So this is taking them off. But honestly, it's actually pretty good. Few spots, but nothing bad. Give it the once over again. Right now, it's a cleanup. Clean it up. I'm going to clean the back up too in case we have any lacquer that's rained down on the back for one reason or another. I see some sparkles on the back. Get rid of those. This will have to get another sanding, of course. Light sanding. It's amazing. It's not even really pulling stain off. And nothing was done to the back. I'll get around the edge here. Now you can tell when you hit a lacquer spot, or what they call lacquer, because it will bind up on it. So there's some on the edge right here because I can feel it. And this down here. And it'll actually start pulling the rag, and the rag wants to grab it and pull it off, which is happening right now. And then it's smooth once it's gone. So it's a good way of telling whether you have any lacquer or not. Let's go around this edge. Once again, no pulling, and a little pull right there. Yes, there's lacquer right there. No pulling, a little pulling right there, and that is gone. Yeah, this is fantastic. I don't think it's going to require much sanding though. I see a little lacquer right there. Hue of it. There we go, gone. Lining is becoming very white, very, very shiny white. I'll use a separate rag when I'm done to clean just the binding up. And then I'll scrape it again. Give it a light scrape. And if you guys haven't seen how to do that, I got a video that shows me doing that. Simple razor blade. I don't have a special tool. Yeah, you can feel lacquer when you have it. You'll feel the rag catch and drag over it because it turns it to goo instantly. All right. So we're going to drag it around. No binding, no dragging. Nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. And I think up in here I have some spots. Yes. There where it meets the neck. There we go. And a little bit more acetone on there. There we go. So how many things did I use? Well, I used what was left of my wife's, which is not even a quarter of a bottle. And then I'm into my second little bottle. Really not a lot. No, I don't know. Yeah, that must be lacquer right there. It's built up. So there's a spot of lacquer on here that's not coming off very easily, and I don't know why. So we'll pour a little directly on it, if I can. I'll rub that in with my finger, soften it. Use my fingernail. Yes, gone. Must be it was getting harder. So there must be a time limit to doing this. I'm going to take it. I wouldn't want to wait any more than 2 days. There we have it. Okay. There we have it. Do the once over, fold my rag, do a once over on the top, once over on the back, once over on the headstock, the clean parts, a lot of lacquer. And just give it a rub down in the same direction of the grain. Make sure the sparkle is all gone. Run it around the edge. Yes. And that sparkle's some difficult stuff. I see a sparkle in here that I've seen and I can't get it out, so I might have to get in there with something. And then we'll do the back real quick. Blend it. And be careful I don't sit this down in any acetone because we'll get a streak in the back and I don't want a streak. Okay. The neck is fine. Let's see the headstock. Should be good and golden there. the nut stayed in place and didn't come loose. All the binding's good. All the lacquer is gone. There you have it, guys. Probably be seeing glitter in here for a month, but it's off the guitar now, so that's good. Okay, now for those of you who've been wondering what I've been doing in my downtime, well, I got to rewire this up again. And what I've done is, probably overdid it, was wax potted my pickups. And then when I do my wax, I do a hot pour-in wax, and there's different hardnesses of wax, so you want to use a good hard wax. And then I pour it in, let it sit, first move it around, and I dump it out, redo it, dump it out, redo it, dump it out, make sure it gets into every nook and cranny. And so that's a waxed pickup now. And we can start wiring this thing up within a little bit here. And I just want to make sure something here. It's going to look great. It's going to look great. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to clean this up a bit more, make sure every bit of sparkle's off here. And then I'm going to, might blend in a little bit of color here and there again. But I don't know, maybe just a light sanding. 100% better, 150% better, might even be better than when I was going to coat it the first time. Look at that. Isn't that better? You know what though, I see in this light, I can see not lacquer, but I see a sparkle here, a sparkle there that's kind of stuck in the grain a little bit, but for the most part, it's all gone. It's all gone. I hope the camera's picking up the tobacco burst pretty decently. And I think I'm going to be pleased with it. Now that we got everything back on track. I'm going to get it together and make sure everything fits again, and we'll do a video on wiring it up. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.